Music, dance, theater. It's time to take a seat on the aisle with Tom Alvarez. Hear from performers, producers, presenters, and creators who enrich our lives in the performing arts. Who's on stage? Here is Tom Alvarez to introduce you.
Hello, and welcome to On the Aisle with yours truly, Tom Alvarez. My guests on today's episode are Alyona Yakovleva, founder and artistic director, and Rick Griskie, board chairman of the Indiana Ballet Conservatory. Founded in 2010, the I.B.C. is a pre-professional ballet school committed to providing the best classical ballet training to its students and launching the next generation of dancers onto the world stage. I.B.C. students continually place in top positions in national and international competitions and pursue professional careers in dance around the world. Join me now as I go on the aisle with Alyona and Rick. Alyona and Rick, so happy that you could take the time, and I know how busy you are, to come all the way down to, well, see, it's not all the way down. People think there's a huge difference between Carmel and Indianapolis, but nevertheless, thank you for making the trip down to our studios to talk to me.
Of course, thank you for having us. We're glad to be here.
Yes, thank you, Tom. So glad to be here. And you're right, it's not that far. It's just a straight shot right down Meridian, 20 minutes, and we were here.
Don't you think that's just a myth that people need to get over?
Absolutely. It's a huge myth.
We're a metropolitan area, right?
That's right. Carmel's just a northern suburb with a very easy route to get downtown.
You know, I wanted to make that point intentionally because you guys are Indiana Ballet Conservatory. It is headquartered in Carmel. That's where your studios are. So let's get started with, Alyona, tell me how it was that you became the founder and you're now artistic director of the Indiana Ballet Conservatory.
That's a long story.
We got the time.
I don't know how to start. Okay. Well, let's start from beginning. To teach ballet, it always was my dream from beginning, and to be a great choreographer as well. So that's why I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia originally. And that's why I studied a long time. I studied 8 years to become professional ballet dancer. And then I studied about 4.5 years to become actually a ballet teacher and a historical ballet teacher and character teacher and to become a choreographer. And then I studied and I complete courses like in Vaganova Academy to complete my, methodology education. So I always dedicate my life not just to be a dancer, but also to be a good teacher. It was my passion. So, and I work in university in Seoul, Korea for Dundalk Women University for 4 years. I met lots of people from Indianapolis, from Ballet International. I came here, and after Ballet International been closed, I opened my own school. But it was not for profit, and it was several steps before Indiana Ballet Conservatory in Carmel. So it was like learning experience with everything, and it was wonderful, fantastic experience. So in 2010, I opened up Indiana Ballet Conservatory in Carmel. And since then, I guess since 2006 till 2024, I taught and guide faculty and students, and almost, I don't remember how many years exactly in a row, but it was over 10 years. We've been named outstanding school by larger pre-professional ballet competition in the world, what called US American Grand Prix. And right now, I'm very proud to say, we graduate students and students who study with us for a long time, they right now dancing in the 35 different ballet companies all over the globe, not just in US. And but simply saying the little cards from the students when they graduate and when they finish our program, to be being with us for 8 years, thank you card and the tears in their eyes, and then when they coming back after 5 or a few years and saying thank you for everything, this is the best things to, I feel ever. So every year I'm thinking it's very hard work, but I love it just because I impact somebody's future. And when students coming to me with a full love to do ballet, what I adore and I respect so much as a form of art, and I can help them and it helps their life, this is, to me, it's super important.
Well, it's clear why you have an investment in this organization that came out of your vision. So, Rick, you are the board president. May I ask how the two of you met?
Alyona and I, great question, Tom. Alyona and I met just hanging out in downtown Carmel, the old-fashioned way. No apps involved. We were just hanging out, enjoying live music outdoors,
We have a very funny question.
having an adult beverage, just relaxing on a Saturday
The
evening
Arts District.
in the art downtown Carmel in the Art and Design District. And Alyona and her best girlfriend sat down. They were having a conversation. I was there alone. I had just spent 3 days in the car with my daughter, and I needed a little quiet time. We were moving her from Florida to Purdue University to start college. And Alyona sat next to me. We started a conversation, and the rest is history.
Wow.
No, it's not. It's history. So we had a conversation with my girlfriend, and we both speak Russian language for probably 45 minutes, and it was kind of my fault we met, because I'm like, this is not fair. We sitting in a small table with this gentleman for 45 minutes, and we even didn't say hi to each other. And after a long time, I just reached out like,
So you were sitting at the same table.
Same table.
Oh, well, that was rude.
Yes. So I reach out like.
And were you trying to figure out what they're saying? Right?
Absolutely not. I was enjoying the music. I was enjoying the beautiful fall weather. And quite frankly, I was just relaxing.
That's great.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad they reached out.
So what happened then?
Well, I reached out. I just asked, how are you? And we started having conversation. But we also had like a group of friends who I more was involved in conversation. And my friend, she's a realtor. She talked to Rick longer, I would say more. And 3 days later, I received a text message. Hello, it was very nice to meet you. This is Rick Griskie. Would you like to have a dinner? Or something like this. And I couldn't understand, like, how that happened. So my girlfriend, she gave her business card to Rick with my phone number.
She was a Yenta. She was what's called a Yenta.
Yes,
Okay.
and I'm so glad she did it. First, I called her, like, how could you do that? Like, I even didn't know. She's like, well, I thought I told you. Like, no, you didn't. So we had that little argument in between. But now, but I'm so glad she did.
I love that.
Well, and it did take her, I felt like forever to get back to me. I'm like, this dinner's not happening.
Okay.
This beautiful woman has absolutely ghosted me.
Yeah.
But
So-
she was just doing the
So
background
it was
check.
truly fate.
It truly was fate. I like to say the universe brought us
And
together.
was it love at
That's
first
true.
sight? would you
That's
say?
true.
Was it love at first sight?
Yes.
Put you on the spot.
Yes, I would agree.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so tell me about how it is that you became board president. The logic would probably, we can just predict why it all happened.
Sure.
Right?
Well, so
Or assume.
assume. So,
Yes.
when Alyona and I first started dating, I knew nothing about dance, nothing about ballet. She asked, have you ever done ballet or been to a ballet? I'm like, I've been to the Nutcracker once. I think I was maybe 20 years old, and it was a great nap. I hate to admit it. I had a fantastic nap during that Nutcracker. I didn't understand what was going on. So she got me basically, an introductory guide to the Nutcracker, explained it to me. And I started going to the performances. And the first performance I went to was the first ever Love is in the Air performance. Tom, I know you're familiar with that one.
Well, good.
The in-studio performance, the first ever during the pandemic. And I was absolutely blown away with the skill, the strength, the stamina of the dancers. I was blown away. And I became more and more interested in the ballet and the operations of the ballet. And Alyona was going through some board of directors changes at the time. And she knew that I have a very strong business background.
I was very impressed with the Rick's, I would say, like biography and like his achievement with the large business companies. So I was think based on his skills and ability. So my friends calling him like a financial celebrity. So I'm like, oh, if he would ever agree to be a president of the board, that would be the best for Indiana Ballet Conservatory Board of Directors.
Yeah. So she asked me to be on the board. I said, I'll absolutely love to support the ballet on the board, but I'm a chief operating officer by trade, more of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. So I'll come on the board, be a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, and help you out with the finances and the business operations so you can focus on the art and the choreography and everything. So board meeting number 1, they vote me onto the board here, and I think it was September a couple years ago. And then I show up at board meeting number 2, and they're like, wait a minute, we have a special topic for board meeting, this board meeting. Rick, can you step out for a moment? And then I come back in and they said, congratulations, we just elected you the president of the board.
I know a couple of those board members you're talking about.
You do?
Let's give them a shout out. Amy Wright.
Amy Wright.
And Marisol
Buchanan. Fantastic board members. They provide us unbelievable support.
And who are the others present?
And Missy Rust.
Yes.
Missy Rust joined the board about a year ago.
Yes.
And her expertise is marketing and social media. And if you follow Indiana Ballet Conservatory on Facebook or Instagram, you can see the professionalism of her work. And a lot of the content is created by our new business administrator, Chris Lingner.
We'll talk about
and Chris does a fantastic job with the videos and the photographs and putting the collages all together. And then Missy puts the marketing copy around it, launches it out into social media. Fantastic team.
Well, of course, you know why I asked you here, because I make no bones about it. I'm a huge fan. And of course, you also know as an arts writer and a reviewer, my job is to cover the performing arts, not just opera, ballet, I'm just music, theater, and dance broadly. But ballet, I have a special love for, as you know. And I think it's important for folks to know that I want to qualify myself, and you know this as well. And I think that's why I can speak with authority when I critique ballet performances. You spoke of, and I asked you, could we have, and I believe we may have met, but we just don't remember it, when I was with the Ballet International for a brief time. I was with them for a minute, I like to say. I was there actually more as an interim. It was between the managing director, and then she left, and I took over for, I would say 6 months to a year, and then someone followed me. But during that brief time, many of the dancers, and Eldar Aliyev was the artistic director. And, during that time, I had, up to that time, didn't have any direct experience managing a ballet company, but I had a theater background. I ran a theater, so arts administration, it's all the same, running a business, an arts business. But what I'm getting to is I got to have firsthand exposure to the work ethic and the artistry of that dance company, members of that dance company, as you know, Alyona, many of them, they were like stars in Russia. And they found themselves here in the country. Some actually came here to escape communism, and others just wanted to come to America because of the artistic freedom that was allowed. So I got to get up and close and personal. And I remember that whole month of their Nutcracker performances, I would be in the wings and I would just marvel, or I'd be in rehearsals. I was so overtaken by the fact that we had these dancers of this caliber in Indianapolis, and that people have no idea who some of these people were, who had danced with the Bolshoi and the Kirov, who had danced with, all the major stars. So that was my exposure, my first exposure to ballet. And if from that point on, I think as art forms go, I was introduced to it late in my career, but ever since then, I've been a great fan. And then when I experienced your company, I think it was Love is in the Air, or I've seen at least 2 or 3 of Love in the Air. And for those listening who are familiar, tell them what Love in the Air is.
Love is in the Air. It's very... it's a performance, a very intimate performance.
In your studio?
In our studio, yes. And the larger studio, we just not renovated, we changed in and decorated as a little theater. We put couple tables there, and we, of course, provide a little bit wine and appetizer. And it's very elegant atmosphere, but the purpose for audience to be closer to the dancer. And I like it's very half improvised performance. I even told my dancers and students, be ready to answer any questions, how it's depend of the audience reaction, it's depend of the biography or a current experience or a situation with the dancers. I make it sometimes a little bit funny, sometimes a little bit educational. And one Love is in the Air, I include sonnets from Shakespeare sonnets, but Tim Hardy, I believe, I'm sorry if I mispronounce his last name, he did collaborate with us a while ago for the production From Shakespeare with Love. And he, professor from UK University of Shakespeare work, and his interpretation of sonnets, what I include in my performance, completely different, and it's more reachable to the audience. So I was one of Love is in the Air was about Shakespeare. Another Love is in the Air next year I just did based on our, completely new choreography that we create for our students that season, and I include some classical repertoire. So it's different variety of different style of dance, different age of dancers, and yes, it's just for also educational person. And I love question and answers when audience and students talk to each other before and after product, little performances.
Like Rick's reaction when he first saw you for the first time, when I was invited to attend those events, I was astounded, and I've written a couple of reviews of those, and so that my comments were, I had to reinforce just for all the reasons that you mentioned, Rick, all of those reasons. But what astounded me the most was the caliber of their artistry and their technique. It really, and I've seen, in my 45 years of covering the arts, fortunately, I've been exposed to ballet all over the world, including New York City and major companies in other markets, but also those who have come through Indianapolis. So I have something to measure against, okay? So that's why I can say with authority that what you're doing, and when I first interviewed you, and by the way, anyone listening, if you want to read that thorough interview I did with Alyona, you can find it on my website at tomalvarez.studio, where we go into detail about your background and various other things. But in particular, the students, their poise and their level of professionalism, yeah, it truly was and is remarkable. And at the time, I was getting to that point that I referred to it as, I think in a headline, best kept secret. Indianapolis. I think you've moved beyond that now, because I'm watching your social media posts and I'm reading what people are jumping on the bandwagon because they've discovered what you're doing. Would you say that's true? Do you feel like you're gaining momentum?
Absolutely.
And how's that reflected?
It's reflected in the number of requests, quite frankly, for collaboration that we're getting. Some of the collaboration recently has been with the Carmel Symphony Orchestra. We participated in the Holiday Pops performance, and most recently in their Firebird performance.
How did that go?
I'll let Alyona talk. I was blown away, unbelievable from an audience perspective. How about from the artist?
Did David Commandy conduct the orchestra?
David did. Yes, he's fantastic conductor.
Conductor, for those listening who don't know that is, he just started less than 6 months ago, right?
Yes, yes. He's fantastic conductor. I will absolutely love collaborate with Carmel Symphony Orchestra. And I think the last collaboration for Stravinsky Firebird, David's interpretation and presentation of Stravinsky of the Firebird was absolutely my best.
He has a background in conducting for ballet.
Yes, we even didn't have changed any tempos for rehearsal. He's like, okay, ballet people, are you good to go? Are you okay? Do you need anything? We even didn't. It was perfect tempos. It's unbelievable.
That's a real adjustment for the conductor and musicians that they've not done it before.
Yes.
He had the experience. And how the musicians do. Was it easy for them to adapt?
Musicians?
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I didn't talk to them personally, but sounds amazing. I love it.
It's his job to...
Yes, I think it was great. Everybody enjoyed it, and we got a lot of compliments for the holiday show from people from Broadway came, and we got a lot of compliment. And I like respect between musicians and dancers when musicians like making their little, trumping. And
let's talk about those young dancers and their opportunity to dance with a symphony orchestra. That is
it's incredible
that they're going to have in their professional careers, hopefully, if they get to bigger companies, right?
Yes, and honestly, it's amazing experience. But since it's teenagers and it's like 18 years old, almost adults, but it's still young people, young, beautiful people who have to still learn a lot. And I have to tell them, like almost every day, you have to appreciate. You don't understand.
I get
you
that.
don't understand what you're getting, but experience and learning experience. It's not everybody. Like you have to understand how lucky you are performing in theaters like Tarkington and Palladium.
The Palladium, excuse me?
Yes. So I have to they're wonderful, but they're still young.
Do you remember when you were that age, though? And
yes.
You were so impressionable, yet some things you really couldn't understand until later on in your life. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I experienced that.
Yes, absolutely. But
do you think that experience, though, you see it in their work, though? When they came out of that, did you see them working harder?
Yes. Yes. They, it's, I guess...
It's as if they could work any harder because you could see the results of the discipline that ballet is anyway.
Yes, they are. They understand what we not train them as a teenagers, 14 years old. We really we really give them everything we know, and we want them to become professional dancers if they choose to have this career, or we want them to become a just good citizen person and good person, to be just a good doctor or a lawyer, but it's the same education. But people not same education, same characteristics, I would say. But when they performing, so many audience confused, what company is it? I'm like, it's a Indiana Ballet Conservatory. So technically we train our students to become professional dancers. And they saying, but they better than some of professional companies. I'm like, that's great compliment. I'll take it.
No, that was, I can say with authority that was my impression too. Yeah, we're talking about, I think dancers are going to end up in top-tier companies.
But can we go back? I think it's important what you said earlier, if we can come back, because we all our faculty, almost all, core of faculty, we've been working together for 16 years. Wow. We start working together in 2002, and you
Tatiana Polly.
Tatiana Polly.
She was one of the people in the company when I was
She's not from Bolshoi, from Moscow. Yes, she's
a
gorgeous ballerina with a gold medal from prestigious international Varna ballet competition. So she was working for Ballet International when I came as a teacher already. And I will be honest with you, when I was teaching in university in Seoul, Korea, and I heard, I met people from America and from Indianapolis, and they told me that Irina Kolpakova and Vladlen Semyonov working here, And they from St. Petersburg, Russia, they like a principal dancers from Kirov Ballet. I'm like, oh, that's what I want to learn. That's what I want to work with.
Didn't she perform with Rudolf Nuria?
She performed with...
Or big stars of her day.
Yes, she performed with so many different stars.
Yeah.
I think it's more Irina Kolpakova.
That's her.
Work.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, Rick, what is a reflection of this sort of my theory that you're like the momentum is going, that you're no longer a best kept secret, and you said it's a partnership. Who are some others, or what are some other examples?
So the other partners, so we have the Carmel Symphony Orchestra, absolutely. Wabash Valley Ballet Company has reached out to collaborate with us. They were at Love is in the Air. They were at our Nutcracker, and they perform at the Ford Theater.
What city or town are they in?
It's in the community, or the county it's Wabash County, but the town is also Wabash.
Okay, so it's where the university,
The college is nearby, and downtown Wabash has a wonderful theater.
Richard Ford built it.
Yeah, it's the Ford Theater.
Yeah,
and we will be collaborating with them.
So you're going to be performing in that space?
In that space as well with their company.
Oh, make sure I know about that.
Okay.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, so that was another example of collaboration.
And Indianapolis Children's Choir, we've been collaborating for last 5 years, probably, with Josh. And Josh have right now a big plan for us. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share or not, but okay, since it's plans, like we're planning to go to Carnegie Center for their anniversary for Indianapolis Children's.
To the Kennedy Center, did you say?
Carnegie Center.
Carnegie Center.
In New York.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Wow, New York. Wow.
But we collaborate for several different productions. They usually doing Nutcracker with us, and we collaborating and sometimes in the Hilbert Theater for the end of the year show and some different.
So that was Joshua Petty, the music director.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. That's a no-brainer partnership right there, correct? So, Rick, what are sort of the shifting to the business part of it? Because, that's the picture I always want to paint for our listeners, that the performing arts, in order to put all that beauty on the stage, requires funding. It's always about money, always is. We couldn't do it without the generous support of donors, sponsors, and so on and so forth. But tell me, what's the future look like for you in your position?
Yeah, the future of Indianapolis or Indiana Ballet Conservatory is absolutely very, very bright. Enrollment continues to increase at a very healthy rate. And what I mean by healthy rate is at a rate where we're growing, but able to absorb the new students, give the new students what they need to develop the skills and progress, adopt them into our family, and just help them become the best dancers that they are, not growing too fast, not growing too slow. We're expanding our day program. Our day program is growing very, very nicely over the last couple of years. We're growing enrollment.
So is that your main income stream?
Our main income stream is students and performances.
Okay, because we all know tickets, can't rely on tickets.
No, but our performances are
for you 30-40% average.
Our average are from our revenue standpoint. Revenue, most of our revenue comes from tuition and private lessons. And then the second major source would be the performances, ticket sales from the performances. We've developed quite a following over the years that Aylona's been in existence. Our Nutcracker does very well. Our spring show coming up, Phantom of the Opera, is going to do very, very well. And then we also have our summer intensive programs, which is another source of the revenue. You put all of that together, and we are a very healthy school. And we like donations, but we don't rely on donations to pay our bills.
But you're not going to say no to anybody.
We absolutely
or make gifts.
Adore sponsors. We make gifts, and that allows us to do things like renovations. We just renovated our lobby and renovated our kitchen, renovated a number of our studios.
Recently I also interviewed your fabulous business manager, Chris Slinger.
Yep.
Former dancer, Indianapolis Ballet, but he brings all the experience you mentioned before. He's a graphic designer. He's like editor. He shoots video. What can't he do?
And Chris was also the general manager of our renovation.
He did that too, right?
Yeah.
So it goes without saying. How does it feel having someone of Chris's caliber, his background? I mean, it's a dream come true. How did this all come about?
It all came about last summer. Alyona was guest teaching down in Boca, and her and I were talking about what's the next need that we have for the Indiana Ballet Conservatory. And we're like, we need bring in a full-time business manager, and we just started brainstorming. Chris's name came to mind.
Like business manager who not just a business manager who understand art, who have very deeply understand art and needs for the art, and who also smart enough to understand business side of the art. So, and I think I spoke to our faculty, and the Chris name come out because we all know each other. It's a small art community, so small. We know each other for so many years, over, 15 years. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to reach out to Chris, and next things we had interview.
Timing
was perfect. So we reached out to Chris in June, and he started in August.
Another piece of fate.
That's
right.
Right. Timing is everything. Patience is everything. Yeah. And then, Tom, you mentioned donors. I'd like to just give a huge call out to Lee Supply. The renovation of the lobby and the kitchen would not have been possible and the restrooms without Lee Supply. Billy of Lee Supply and his wife Juliana worked very, very closely with Chris and made some very nice donations to the studio to help out with the renovations.
Now, it sounds to me, though, that you don't have any plans to leave that space anytime soon.
No plans to leave that space. Our next step would be to create another studio, and we have the drawings all made up to
Is there another part that you knock down a wall?
We will knock down a wall.
In that building?
We'll make the lobby a little bit smaller.
Yeah, for people who don't know where you are, you're in basically an office park in Carmel, correct? Right. So right now you have, 4 studios? 4 different sizes?
4 studios, different sizes.
Yeah, and, of late, we'll talk about that, too, because I think it's important for folks to know how generous Indianapolis Ballet Conservatory has been to me personally. But, again, that's for a little bit later. But so how about the board? The board is small for a reason, correct?
The board is small for a reason. Again, because we're very solid financially, and we want a small board that is dedicated to the success of our school, is connected into the community, and stays of all like mind. Sometimes when the board gets too big, you have competing priorities. Alyona, as the founder and artistic director, is the vision and the energy behind Indiana Ballet Conservatory. And we want to follow her and enable her in the right direction.
I think it's really good strategy that you saw the wisdom of bringing Chris on board, because that allows Alyona to focus.
That's right. Correct? Yep. Alyona focuses on the art, the choreography, the development of the students. Chris focuses on the day-to-day operations of the studio. And then the board is there to enable, equip, challenge, and help her achieve her vision.
Rick, in my experience, I've reinvented myself a lot, but it started with, I believe, what I call my transferable skills. And I believe in that concept. Sounds like you've been able to transfer your business skills into running a not-for-profit.
Absolutely. And my background is business transformation and business enablement. I'm not the visionary. I'm the enabler.
But you're also an entrepreneur.
I'm very entrepreneurial in my thinking, absolutely. But again, my core strength is enabling business visions. Alyona is a fantastic visionary, and I know how to make those visions and those into plans and into reality.
Well, I find you both, as I've come to know you, I love the way that you're very intentional. Would you say that's correct? You're intentional in everything you do, strategically minded.
Absolutely.
I get the feeling from both of you that you know exactly what you're doing.
That's true.
You're very
Thank you.
Very focused.
Yes.
And it's always about what I learned in running not-for-profit, and, I have my own run not-for-profit myself, but the idea that you have to be intentional, you have to be strategic. It's always about connecting the dots. Many times there's an indirect path, and that's entrepreneurialism, correct?
Right.
But what impresses me the most, you're clearly focused on your mission, single-minded about your mission. When it all boils down to, it's about your mission. Why are we here?
Right.
It's not about personalities. It's not about power. It's not about all those things.
No.
I mean, there's always going to be some kind of conflict somewhere as part of it. Do you agree with all that?
100%. And simply stated, our mission is to launch the next generation of dancers onto the world stage. We're not in it to franchise I.B.C. We're not in it to grow numbers. We want high-quality dancers that have a desire to become professionals.
And Alyona, you've already expressed, you have already evidence. You've been doing this long enough. You can track people who've been through your training who have gone out. Give me some examples of where some of those former students have gone on and what their careers. Just give me some examples that you're most proud of, let's say.
Okay, that's probably would be a few days ago in the Vienna Ballet.
Vienna.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a student who studied with Indiana Ballet Conservatory for the 8 years. He performed as a principal, as a first soloist with Vienna Ballet in the production of The Lady of the Camelias by my favorite choreographer of our century, John Neumeier. And his name is Timur Afshar. And I almost was in tears when his mom was flying to one of my favorite cities in the world, Vienna, to see one of my favorite students in one of the favorite production. I'm like, and it's my favorite book by Alexander Dumas, The Lady with the Camelias. I'm like, okay, now I'm in tears. But the good things, Tim Afshar coming it's officially already, we agreed with everything almost, coming to be our guest artist for the Nutcrackers this 2024. And he will be a prince in our Nutcracker.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's...
So Tim being with...
This upcoming Nutcracker?
Yes.
This upcoming
yes.
Nutcracker.
Oh.
So Timur was with Stuttgart Ballet, I can't remember exactly, maybe 4.
So he's an alum coming back to dance the Prince. That's extraordinary.
And that's what I'm looking forward for. I'm really proud of him. Little details like he started with Indiana Ballet Conservatory is age of maybe 5. So in that point, he had zero potential. I swear, zero potential. I had a guest artist from St. Petersburg, Russia, teachers who I invited for summer intensive. And I asked them to give Timur private lessons. And they said, absolutely not. We are not going to waste our time. That boy have zero potential. I'm like, fine, I'm gonna give him private lessons. And then all our faculty, of course, and Sergey and Tatiana, we all been working with Timur. And there we are.
Wow, if ever there was a poster boy for I.B.C., it would be this young man.
But,
talk a little bit about Morgan.
And Morgan Ross, she's coming back to perform role of Christine in our spring production, Phantom of the Opera. She's right now, I think she's a principal dancer with the Boulder Ballet.
Boulder Ballet
in Colorado. And we just finished rehearse some beginning Act 1 and some portions with Act 2. I think she's going to be fantastic, Christian. This is my own choreography. I was a little bit I'm picky about that. I was really careful and cautious about who I would like to cast for the role of Christian. And I think Morgan will be phenomenal. And you know how when you work with students, when they're little and it's take 8 years for them to become a beautiful, gorgeous dancers, and now they coming back to perform with us in the major productions, I can explain the feelings.
Well, there's that whole, I don't know, it's in The King and I think Anna says it something when the student becomes the teacher. It sounds like some of these folks have gone on.
A better teacher.
Yeah.
So I hope they're going to become better. They have to be
Yeah.
better than your teacher.
Yeah. Wow, that must give you such great satisfaction to
Right.
see the results of your longtime dream. That not only did you make your dream come true, you're now passing on this legacy to young people.
Yes, and I'm excited. Majority of them coming back for our 15 years anniversary, but this will be in a year.
It begins fall of 2025, marks our 15th school year.
So we're planning for the big. We're not sure. I think it's going to be a big gala because majority of them coming but flying from all over the globe.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, Missy Rust is spearheading that, and she'll be bringing our alumni back as their schedule permits to perform in individual performances, master classes, guest performances, and some of our large productions, and a gala. All of that is
I
underway.
remember, I don't know if you were there, but I know that you were close to David Hochoi and still are close. You've become friends with Joshua and Kim and Dance Kaleidoscope we're talking about for those.
Yes.
And I know, I don't remember, it's not that long ago, they had a big anniversary and a lot of the former dancers came back. It sounds like it's going to have that kind of flavor.
Absolutely.
It's going to be very sentimental for everyone to come back. So that represents how many years since you've been doing this here? All of these people?
15 years. It was coming up on our 15th year anniversary.
So you have 15 years coming up.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever think you would get to this point? Well, of course you knew. You do. You had it. I mean, you focused on that vision, didn't you? You saw it, right?
You know, I never focus on like any numbers. I focus every day. I waking up, I have a cup of coffee, and I focus to do my absolute best to help in as much as I can. I just do what I love.
I love talking to artists about the visionary process. Most artists who are successful, it's very filmic. You can see it. You can see it in your head.
I see.
And then, you have now the background, the experience, and you know what it's going to take for that all to come into realization. You have that gift, do you not?
Yes, I do. I do have I know exactly what needs to be done day-to-day operation to create successful dancers and give them enough education. I know what needs to be done during the year. I know what needs to be done in the 3 years, in the 5 years, to just...
But I was also speaking of the choreography itself.
Choreography?
Yeah.
Oh,
The vision that one requires someone to be a choreographer.
It was my passion. I don't know, Tom. I've had so many opportunities to just quit because I started to...
Do you do what I just asked you previously? Can you see it?
Yes.
Can you see the whole?
Course.
It's like a film.
How else it can be? I don't know. Of course, it's like you use your imagination and you see completely picture. And when you don't see picture, you train your brain, you push in your brain to see right things, what needs to, like, what's satisfying emotions, what's connecting with the vision. Until I not see it in my brain, then it's no.
And what about when you're choreographing something? How do you come up with the moves? Everybody who doesn't know anything about dance choreography always asks that question. So how did they choose that particular movement as part of the piece they have? How do you make those choices? Is it the music?
It's every choreographers have a different ways. My way, what I come up personally with, so I love music. I played piano, so I understand music. So when I listen music inspiring me a lot. So I start move with the music. So technically, if it's a ballet, the big form of ballet, I do first a structure of ballet, of like a large sections to make sure, because I don't believe, of course, it's an abstraction ballet, it's wonderful, but I like to send message. If my choreography not sending message, and most importantly, if audience don't understand my message, I'm bad choreographer. So I want them to understand what I'm talking about through the language of the body.
So are you literally in your living room or bedroom and you're listening to the music and you're dancing?
So I start dancing and I think, okay, great, that's gonna fit. But then that's not it. It's fit for my movements. So I come in to dancers and I'm saying, okay, we're going to do this and this and this. Sometimes I'm very precise about that. Like, it's have to be done because it's Shostakovich, and it's a clear accents, and I need you to meet these accents absolutely perfectly. But sometimes when I see the dancer's ability not exactly can support that, then I start adjusting choreography to make a dancer in the best way is possible, to present and show the dancer also to match my vision and choreography. So I kind of balancing also.
This is fascinating to me as a reviewer, okay, because over the years I've had to, number one, I don't write for dancers and choreographers. I write for the general public. Because a lot of times the public, that's what intimidates them about contemporary dance, not ballet, classical, because there's a story that's very clear. And they could go to Wikipedia and read about it. But like modern and contemporary ballet, some people are intimidated. It's like, I don't understand what the story is.
Oh, that's bad.
It's too obscure for me, and that's what keeps people away, because they feel like I don't want to be stupid, and if I can't understand this, then I just maybe not be intelligent, or this isn't for me, or it's too elevated, or it's too...
Exactly. No, exactly. It's like my professor from, she's one of the best ballet critics in the world right now, Natalia Zazulina. She always said, you have to understand, if audience feels stupid, you are a bad choreographer. You cannot, it's a bad work.
Well, there you go. There you go. That for me is very helpful, because it follows for me my logic that, if I'm not understanding, if I don't have an appreciation for the story here, there is a story. It boils down to good storytelling when you're a choreographer, you're telling a story.
Yes, of course, always. Can be big story or a small story. Even maybe not exactly a story, but a message, at least a message. If it's not that, then what purpose of the art or a ballet or anything?
Yeah. So, Rick, you are, is it a right brain or left brain when you're like business and math and all that?
Whatever. I'm not even sure.
Okay, well, whatever it is, you're learning the other half of
I'm
brain
learning,
too.
absolutely.
So, what's it like being with an artist of Alyona's talent and caliber?
Well, at times it's intimidating, as you probably noticed. Alyona is very task-oriented, very precise on exactly what she wants. But I feel we complement each other extremely well. We've gotten to know each other and learn each other and can anticipate each other's needs.
Fascinate you, though?
It's absolutely fascinating.
Someone like her who
Absolutely. It's unbelievable to be in the presence of her, like, just observing, for example, the rehearsal day for the Nutcracker or the rehearsal for the upcoming Phantom of the Opera. I'll go in the day before as they're rehearsing, and the lights are, they're still working on the lights and they're working on their spacing on the stage. And her ability to see every single thing that's going on is unbelievable. So from the middle of the theater, she'll notice one dancer sitting on the bench, not even really part of the main act, right? There's a half a dozen dancers on stage doing their thing. There's one on the side wings sitting on a bench, observing that, and their feet are out of place. And Alyona will notice it and call it out.
Oh, my goodness.
A little costume is out of place, and Alyona will call it out. And she's taught me, she's like, the audience will not notice it directly.
Well, I like to say it's
indirectly.
a cliche, but there's a lot of truth to the devil is in the detail.
Devil's in the details. The audience won't know what was wrong, but they will know something is wrong.
Well, I've mentioned this before, that as a reviewer, I have that perspective, and that's part of my training and part of my experience. And as an artist, obviously, it gives me a unique perspective because of that detail. If I'm watching something and it's not seamless, if there's a distraction, it takes me out of the story.
That's right.
Exactly.
And you might not even know what the distraction was.
Yeah, but the idea of the art is to look effortless to the audience. And if you notice the scenery or the costumes over what's going on the stage, there's something wrong.
Yeah. And Alyona makes it look effortless.
And I noticed that about you. So are you, two things. Are you a perfectionist? Ha, ha, ha. Silly question.
Yes.
Yeah. And are you a control freak? Because people get accused of that if you have high standards.
I am not a control freak, but I have a very high standard from everything. I like details, And yep.
And how about the collaborative process? Do you embrace collaboration? You must with your faculty.
Yes.
Yeah.
The teamwork with the faculty is unbelievable.
Let's talk about your faculty. Talk about them.
Again, we like a family. We work together way too long. Family, I think, don't spend much
How many
time
of you,
than we are.
have the core of you been together
Yes,
all this time?
It's Tatiana Pali.
Yeah.
She's our master teacher,
Okay.
ballet instructor. So Sergei Sergeyev, he's our contemporary master instructor. So Tatiana Pali originally from Moscow, and she from Kremlov Ballet, and Sergei Sergeyev originally from Bulgaria, so here. And she also, we all met each other at Ballet International. But Sergei Sergeyev, I right now can say he is one of the most talented and the best contemporary choreographers of our time. His work is incredible. He worked with different companies. He been awarded as outstanding choreographer from so many different prestigious ballet competitions in the world. It's just, if you see his biography and simply his work, it's amazing.
Well, let me ask you about these teachers. Most of them were dancers, correct?
Yes.
Yes, for the most part. That's just not unusual for dancers when their careers are over or waning that they switch. But they must have remarkable stories. How much of a chance do your dancers get to interact with them and so they can tell them the stories? Does that happen?
So just the life stories?
Just the stories about, do dancers say, well, tell me what it was like dancing on such a stage in this theater in Moscow or St. Petersburg. Tell me about that. What was that like to be like, the big time? What's it like in the big time? Do they ever have those kinds of conversations that you know of? Or are they just in passing, informal?
I think, of course, the students ask different questions and they Google different things. But
it's because of their youth, they don't really appreciate it.
Exactly, because it's just like a normal, regular routine of every day.
They're not starstruck.
They're not starstruck at all because they see these unbelievably talented teachers every day.
And the stereotype about the ballet dancer. She's in her later years, and she's holding a cane, and she's stern, and she's mean, and she's pointing her cane at people. It's
no, it's true. It's true. I even know the older generation of Russian ballet teachers, very mean, very strict, and it's absolutely true. But I don't think all of them. I was lucky. I had fantastic teachers. That's the best people in the world. I appreciate them all. And it was older generations. They were strict.
Their job was to instill fear.
Yes. But I love them still and I appreciate them so much. And as well as Tatiana Pali, I think she's sharing so many cats pictures.
Yeah.
She cats lover. She have 5 cats. And we all sometimes chatting about dogs and cats and, telling little jokes and sharing what was funny happening at home. So it's we more have a family of home environment and relationship between teachers and students. It's more like family.
Tell me about yourself when you're just is it always work all the time? What are your hobbies? What do you do when you're not in the studio? Focused on your next production or thinking about that?
It's really happening, but if it's happening, I would bike and I would hike. I would go to Florida and I would swim in the ocean.
You know how to relax.
Yes.
We absolutely know how to relax.
I see your Facebook posts, so I know you do.
We try to take a large number of mini vacations.
And we're taking ballroom dancing sometimes classes, what I'm proud of.
So I can't let you leave without you're talking about your first love, with all due respect to you, Rick, but you do have a first love, your doggie. She have her own Instagram. Name. Tell everyone her name.
Her name is Pino Ballerino.
And where'd that name come from?
From my students, of course. They create her Instagram account. And her name is on Instagram account, Pino Ballerino.
I'm surprised you didn't bring her. I was hoping you would.
Well, if you would invite her. So her
Well,
band.
she has run of your studio, so why would she have to be invited?
Well, she's very polite Yorkie.
Oh.
So it's her bias.
I love her when I've been to your not at the Palladium, of course, but I bet you they wouldn't mind if you brought her and she ran around on stage. But there would probably be a problematic. But yeah, I only bring that up because anyone who knows you knows about your first love. Yeah, and so what is your ultimate dream for Indiana Ballet Conservatory, both of you?
Yeah, ultimate dream for Indiana Ballet Conservatory is to grow that prep division, double or triple the size of our prep division, and then have a core group of advanced students that we can really help hone their skills and focus on getting them into the world stage at that next level.
I meant to ask you both I know who some of your student base is, but that's part of the best kept secret. People don't realize that you have students from all over the country find themselves at Carmel because of your reputation. Talk about that. And this is for listeners who may be hearing this outside Indiana, what you want people to know.
Yes, we have students. Before COVID, our day program was a little bit larger. I have to say, like COVID, of course, affected, but still, in our day program, students traveling and moving actually to Carmel and Indianapolis from different states of US, but also we have students from Japan. We used to have students from Canada, from China, from
Sweden, Seattle.
And of course from different states of the U.S.
How does that work? Do they have hosts that you find that agree to house them and sponsor them, or how does that work? Or do they come with their parents or
sometimes
relatives?
It's a family moved.
Really?
Family moved from Seattle with another 3 kids, and all family from Seattle moved to Indiana.
That's amazing.
Program.
Yeah.
So sometimes we find a host family.
They don't make that kind of move without doing their research, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Doing the research. And speaking of research, Tom, I don't know if you're aware, but there was a recent independent study reviewed all of, I think, over 3,000 ballet schools in the United States.
3,600.
3,600 ballet schools in the United States, reviewed 20 years worth of data. And Indiana Ballet Conservatory was ranked number 3 in the country for producing professional ballet students. So unbelievable results. And like I said, and in addition to the host families and moving here with their families, some of the older students will come for a couple of years and just get an apartment. And their families will host that, or will support them with an apartment.
I love the Q&As that you talked about that the students do at the end of Love is in the Air. By the way, are you ever going to make that a public event? Because I don't know. I think the public would love to see it.
I'm not sure. I have this question. Several people asked me this question, but I think if we will make it public, it's not going to be that special.
Ah, so that's part of it.
It's part of, because we have room for about 30 people is what we can fit in, or 30 audience members.
Well, as a fundraiser, I think too that's oftentimes people who want to make sizable gifts want to feel special.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And the intimacy would be lost if we put it into a larger
for people,
venue.
what you described a bit, I mean, I've been to several of these. It's just a beautiful evening. It is intimate, candles, wonderful cabaret setting, beautiful flowers,
Thank
and
you.
a lovely buffet. So, if you have the pleasure or the honor of being invited, you're really going to enjoy the evening. But so tell listeners how they can contact you all for questions about the school and anything else.
Yeah, the best way is go to indianaballetconservatory.org. That's our website. You can reach out to us via the website. There's the contact email. There's the phone number. And, of course, follow us on Instagram or on Facebook. And you can reach out, private message us through those channels. And if you want to just get involved and see our upcoming production and see what we're all about, Ilona's unique choreography to Phantom of the Opera is being performed at the Tarkington Theater in Carmel on May 25th, which is race weekend. Tickets are on sale. We've got 2 performances, 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock on that Saturday. Come check us out. You will be unbelievably blown away. One of our graduate students, like Alyona mentioned, Morgan Rust is playing Christine. Justin Hamilton is playing the Phantom. And Justin will be graduating this spring and then continuing his ballet career at Joffrey in the fall.
In Chicago.
And it's not going to be long before we're talking Christmas again. God forbid, but it's going to happen. So people are already making so.
And it just snowed yesterday.
You need to plug Nutcracker for next year.
Yeah.
I know all the details aren't in place, but I've seen your Nutcracker, and I've said it's one of the best productions I've ever seen anywhere on any stage, and it's true. And mostly because it's all children, and they're double cast, triple cast, and it's so the fact that they're so guileless and so innocent is part of the magic of that particular kind of story.
Yes.
It's magical. There's just nothing like it in that particular production. So when will you start rehearsing for it?
We start right after Pinrod. Pinrod, so after about September, usually.
So do you know the dates yet for Nutcracker next year?
It's November.
It's Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah. It's the Saturday and Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend. So. All of the details have not been worked out, but we are in discussion.
But let's preview the fact or tease the fact that there's some big news associated with this Nutcracker.
Yes,
big news. My lips are sealed, but at some point you can talk about it, right?
No, yes, of course. We've been talking and trying to collaborate for last 2 years with Anne-Marie and Carmel Symphony Orchestra.
Okay, I didn't know if you had...
Can I say that?
I think you can say that.
I mean, that is a big deal, people.
Big deal. So we're talking with... We right now in detailize things with the Palladium, with the Carmel Symphony Orchestra and us, and the fact is that Timur Afshar, as solist of Vienna Ballet, coming to be a guest artist, who is our student on... I think it's going to be I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, spectacular.
Yeah, so we have agreement with the Carmel Symphony Orchestra to do the collaboration, and we're working out...
David Commandy will be conducting.
Yes, David will absolutely be conducting. He's unbelievably excited for the collaboration.
I don't think it's any small thing that, you're one of the participating on-site arts partnerships with the Palladium. And the fact that you can call the Palladium your home, that is big stuff. I believe so.
Thank you.
Yeah. So last question, I'm going to leave you with this for you, Alyona. Tell me what drives you, because your passion speaks for itself. And anybody who meets you is drawn into your, your passion. I mean, you just, you carry it. It's just part of who you are, the love for what you do and the way you communicate that. Where does that come from? What drives you?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know where it's come from. I think it's come from God. That's what I've been blessed.
Do you feel like you were born to do what you're doing?
Since if I have that feelings, if I have that much passion and love for art and for ballet specifically, actually we had conversation. I said, I probably going to sound like teenager, but more I do ballet year after year, more I have respect to this form of art specifically. And I continue to do this, and I never been done loving it. Yeah. I just carry that passion through every day.
Well, it shines through for sure. There's something I forgot to ask you, but we talked about it here in interview, and it's just inescapable. The elephant in the living room, if you will. You have ties to both Russia and Ukraine.
True.
How are you feeling about things right now?
Awful.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful, because I have family in St. Petersburg, Russia, and friends, and I have family in Berdyansk, Ukraine, what is on Azov Sea, where is right now American military base. Right now, probably it's not. So I speechless. I cry so much about that, because it's that ridiculous. if I gonna send money to Ukraine, I am a criminal in Russia.
Oh, yeah. $56, I think. Was she at 52?
Go back to St. Petersburg,
We're
Russia.
talking about the woman they've arrested and
Right.
being held hostage.
And like, I'm sorry I shared the personal details, but my dad passed away a year ago.
Oh,
I have to
sorry
go
hear
to
that.
bury him, but I can't go there to bury my dad.
To bury her father.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm very
And
sorry.
it's awful, and I have to do stuff online right now, and I cannot go there because I already supporting my family in Ukraine as well. It's such an awful conflicting situation. I communicating with my friends and family in Russia through WhatsApp, and I communicating with my family and friends in Ukraine, and and everybody, it's so much hate right now between countries what was in so much
So you're
love. with
clearly
each
in the
other.
middle.
Yes, it's awful.
It's a whole other topic, but I often wonder about the status of ballet in Ukraine. Is it gone? It's not possible.
Ballet is strong. Ballet went through revolution 1917.
Sure.
Ballet went through World War II.
Yeah.
Ballet survived through so many crises, political, and so I believe it's going to be.
It will
I wish
survive.
It will survive.
Yeah. Have a lot of those artists come to the States and other parts of the world? Have they escaped or just so that they can
Escaped,
work?
Yes, escaped. Youth American Grand Prix, the artistic director and founder of Youth American Grand Prix, Larissa Soveryeva, she helped a lot Ukrainian dancers to come, and she was helping host in different schools, and it's a big tragedy. So, of course, all will trying to help as much as possible.
And lastly, I want people to know, on occasion I've heard different opinions about, the arts, and I take issue for this one, that the arts organizations are competitive. Well, there's true to some extent, but for the most part, I find it's one of the most collaborative arts communities that I know of. There are others, but there really is a lot of back and forth generosity between the two. In your particular instance, I want to acknowledge that my own Magic Thread Cabaret company, it's no easy feat sometimes when you need rehearsal space. So you're lending us your studios during our rehearsals for Broadway's Bad Girl was really a great gift, and I really, really appreciate it. But that's, I find in the arts community, there's a lot of collaboration. Do you find that too? Partnerships? Yes. People are very willing to support each other.
Absolutely. I believe not art community, it's so difficult to keep art going, and it's so important for society. And we all have to help each other. If we're not going to help each other, we're not going to survive.
And even when it comes to ticket buying, people have overlapping interests. But, there's a lot of choices, right?
Of course.
But if you can just train people to get seats at live performance, isn't that benefit us all?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And we're big believers in an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset.
Sure.
By collaborating together, we will all survive.
We all
rise together, absolutely, by supporting one another and believing that there's enough out there for all of us to survive. And as a result, the local communities will thrive.
Exactly.
If we start competing with one another, that hurts everybody.
Yeah.
It's an abundance. There's so much out there, love for art. We can all raise the level together.
I believe in competition, but I love competition, but I believe in a healthy competition. You want your competitive to be good, because that's what you make you good, but it's got to be also very...
You don't want bad ballet.
No.
That's right.
You want to be collaborative.
You don't want it to be a parody.
Yeah.
So, that's funny how sometimes that's people's introduction to opera and ballet. It's the parody, something that you're supposed to laugh at. You do not want that. This has been so much fun. I knew it would be. So I really appreciate, again, your taking the time to sit down with me, and you'll definitely see me on the aisle at your next performance and beyond.
Right. Thank you, Tom. It was a pleasure spending the afternoon with you. And coffee.
Yes, thank you, Tom. And thank you for everything you do for art community in Indiana. We appreciate it. And always be our guest.
Thank you.
Our thanks go out to our media sponsor, Urban Times. Urban Times is a monthly news magazine which serves as the official neighborhood newsletter for 16 Indianapolis neighborhoods, offering news about development, arts and entertainment, and from the business community.
Who will take center stage on the podcast next? Your seat on the aisle with Tom Alvarez awaits. Follow Tom on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and make sure to visit tomalvarez.studio. Watch Tom every other Thursday on Lifestyle Live on Wish TV, and make sure to listen every week here on the All Indiana Podcast Network.